Hello everyone, I'm Dad Mishima from Dad and Kids Play 1, and this is the second installment of Rygar for the NES. This is a walkthrough of the full game from start to finish. We're going to show you tips on how to find every item in the game and how to defeat all the bosses. So with that being said, let's get started. Okay, so we just defeated a Rygar and now we're on our way to Mount Primevil. But before doing so, we first need to take a look at the menu screen to gain a better understanding of it. So tone is the battle strength of your attacks. The higher number you have for your tone, the stronger your attacks are. You start the game with a tone of 30 and it goes all the way up to 4,095. Last is the level of your defense. Once you acquire 48 last points, you will gain another health unit. You will continue to gain health units until you reach the maximum amount of 12. You start the game with 10 last points and it will go all the way up to 4,095. When you defeat enemies, sometimes they will drop a star or a double star icon. These items will give Rygar mind power. With mind power, you will be able to cast spells which will aid you in your quest. The star icons will grant you a single bore, and you can collect up to 7 bars of mind power at a time. Power up increases the range and power of your disc armor and it only costs 3 bars of mind power. Honestly, I never even use it in this run. Attack and Excel is my favorite spell in the game. With it, you can hit any enemy on screen regardless of their location. The spell lasts for 10 swings with your disc armor and it costs 5 mind points to cast it. Recovery will give you back all of your health but for the price of 7 mind points. It's definitely worth it if you find yourself in a pinch. So with that out the way, let's continue. From the Lion Shrine, head down to take the turn to the left. Remember the white rope that is attached to the 2 tree stumps? But now that we have the wind pulley, we can use it to move over the water without falling. In order to use the wind pulley, we need to position Rygar in a specific way. We need to listen for a clicking sound. When you hear it, that means the wind pulley is attached to the rope and you can safely move across. Now that you know how to use the wind pulley, let us continue to our destination. From here, continue to go down. Ignore the second tree stump and rope. So yeah, the wind pulley is very hard to use when the game is in this perspective. I have fallen to my doom many times over because I was too anxious and didn't wait for the clicking sound. On the other hand, when the game is in side view, the wind pulley is very easy to use. Just walk forward and Rygar will automatically attach to the rope. Now it's mandatory that we cross over the third tree stump and rope. Place Rygar at the correct position and wait for the clicking sound. When you hear it, that means it's safe to cross over. Do so, then continue to the left. There's not much happening here on the screen. Continue to head to the left and remember not to walk too close to the edge. We're almost at our destination. Alright, here we go. Once we enter the door at the top, it means we reach Mount Primevil. Now we are back in the side view perspective. Keep going to the right. We have a new enemy in this area. The Epocon is a creature that flies while carrying a stone. Sometimes it will drop the stone over Rygar's head. In this level, we have to be careful as we move to the right because there's an abundance of Epocon here. Remember, as long as there's a rope attached to the tree stump, it's very easy to use the wind pulley on these types of levels. All you have to do is walk off the ledge and Rygar will automatically connect to the rope with it. Now keep moving to the right and try your best not to stop since there are legions of enemies here. When you finally reach the entrance on the right, go through it to enter Sagila's cave. Keep heading to the right and we will be greeted by several new enemies. The Sun Yogi are snail-like beasts that move like turtle enemies. Next up are the Amalum, who rolls around like Rofas but are much stronger. Repel them all with your disc armor and keep heading to the right. Now whenever you reach a platform with a rope attached to it, just ignore it. As a matter of fact, don't take any detours and stay on the upper path. The next enemy is called a purple gazelle and they move a lot like the moblins do. Hurry and take them out. Try not to mess around for too long in the cave since the enemies are a lot tougher here. At this section, use the wind pulley, then wait for the flames to go up, then pass underneath them before they fall. I didn't realize I was at low health here, and if I had enough mind power, I would surely use the recovery spell. I think I leveled up again around this part. Anyway, keep heading to the right and go through the door when you reach the end. Honestly, this game is not so bad once you know where you're going. Okay, so this is Mount Primevil Sunset Edition. Take out the enemies and continue to the right. You already know the deal when it comes to jumping over pits, so please don't fall in them. As far as enemies go, we are now current on all the new ones so far. Keep heading to the right and enter the door at the end to start the second half of Sagilia's cave. For the viewers that's watching, I have a question. If you never beat Rygar on the NES, then what was the reason? Please let me know in the comment section. So, in the second part of the cave, we're now heading to the left. Whenever you come to a platform that you can use your grappling hook on, always climb down then continue to the left. That is the correct path in this cave. Now take out the enemies to clear your path. I had to be extra careful here since I'm low on health. We really don't have far to go and the boss fight is near, so use the grappling hook here, then proceed to the left. I tried to get the mind power at this point, but it didn't work out as planned. Continue to head downward and to the left. Now be mindful of the purple gazelle, but really focus on the jumping fire. Hit the fire if you must, then jump across when it's safe to do so. Now we have to make sure we don't fall in the pit as we head to the left. If we do, then it's game over. This section isn't so bad, but we must be extra cautious of the jumping fire. Now once we reach the platform at the far right, use the grappling hook to go down. Here's the final section of the caves. From here, we have to go to the right. Make sure to time your jumps carefully as you proceed. Remember to take out the purple gazelles first, then focus on the fire. Sometimes you have to hit the fire so you'll have time to jump across. The flames are definitely the most threat here, as you can hit them but they will simply respawn. We're almost to the boss, just a bit further. Alright, I'm cutting it a little close here with the life, so it's time for me to use the recovery spell. And with that said, it's time for a boss fight. This boss is probably the easiest fight in the entire game. In order for us to beat Sagila, all we need to do is crouch down and attack. That's it. From a crouching position, Sagila will not be able to land an attack at all, but we will be able to hit her with our disc armor. Once we defeat her, go through the door to the right and claim the crossbow from the Endora god. So now with the crossbow in hand, we are now ready for our next destination, which is Dorrego's palace. Tune in next time as we uncover more tips and tricks in Rygar for the NES. I'm Dad Mishima. See you next episode.